Hello, everybody. Cedric Procedure here for CR Wrestling Commentary. And today, we'll be giving our thoughts on Big Swole versus Tony Khan. This is the personal beef, and it's all headlined by Jim Cornette, Brian Last. This I'm getting on my phone real quick. Get that right itself. So the first one, it was a two-parter per se, going on the clips that they released. But it was Jim Cornette on Big Swole complaining about Tony Khan. So that had some things in it. And, Cedric was like, let me say, and I was like, we got to listen to the whole thing for context and stuff so you can understand, because you don't want to just listen to something, knee-jerk it, and then they cover it later. And I don't know if they did cover it, and if they did, it probably glossed over it with like 3 or 4 words and moved on. But I'm going to just say this. There are points where I would say Jim Cornette can't understand the irony of his own idiocy at points. And Brian Last comes across pretty much, yeah, I get it, I understand, but I'm an elitist, so I don't. And it's frustrating to hear that. But I think I've gone over enough of the opening, I would say by now, Cedric, wouldn't you think? I mean,
yeah. So part of the problem, one of the problems with Brian and Jim Cornette is that as much as they want for the wrestling business to improve and to reincorporate some of the things that made it so good in the past, they're very much an echo chamber 80% of the time. And in that echo chamber and in Jim's desire for things to go back to the past, he wants to bring in the bullshit, I don't want to say toxic, but toxic shit from the past too.
No, you're toxic. There's no way, if you listen to Jim Cornette, there's no way, no grounds, nothing for anyone to improve themselves. You just can't do it as a wrestler. You look the part, you wrestle well, then you're, as he would say, figured in, or you're just a job guy or girl. Or you'll be a good mid-card. Are you an opening mid-card, or are you like a really great top mid-card, and then you're pigeonholed for the rest of your life in that? That's how he comes across.
And even more to the point, in the transcript they were reading of Big Swole's interview, she was talking about the relationship between her and Tony Khan. We're not talking like a sexual relationship. We're talking about like a supervisor, employee, and then friend relationship. And she was talking about how basically her feelings were hurt that he came out and said, oh, she just can't wrestle, especially when they spent all this time, close time, and he never said anything.
And when she did ask him,
when she asked him point blank and direct,
he was like, no, it ain't that at all.
No, it's not that at all. I get to that in a second. But when, they read that, they being Brian and Jim, they just laughed and hee-hawed. Oh, she's talking about her feelings. I'm like, look, motherfuckers. All those dudes, all the boys from the past 30 years might not have had spent so much time drinking themselves near to death, doing drugs, or fucking random pussy so much if they had an opportunity to deal with their feelings. Men have them. I'm guessing Brian is you and I's age, etc., but he's acting like a goddamn boomer. All this suck it up buttercup bullshit. How many wrestlers have died because of that? And it's just, and Tony Khan, you can look at him and tell, you can look at his face and tell, knowing with his monetary status and his age, that he is the type where I don't want to make anybody mad, So I'm gonna tell you everything's great and everything's always great and we're gonna chill and get high and you're wonderful. I'm just gonna pay you and not work you for a year. Because he can't be honest. You can look at him and tell. And that's exactly what he did. And then when she said something about the diversity, oh, I'm a minority and she just couldn't wrestle. Now she can't wrestle.
All of a sudden, out of the blue, she can't wrestle now.
He can't answer a direct question when asked, is it my wrestling? Is it my skills? That was the prime opportunity to help somebody level up. But no, you don't want to make them mad. You want to keep your friend. And then when you feel betrayed, oh no, she couldn't wrestle. That's some petty Betty mean girl bullshit that he pulled. And that's who he is.
He's a bitch made billionaire. That's what he come across as.
But basically what Jim and Brian is saying, she's not worth the ground that Tony Khan stands on because he's the booker and running the company. So she needs to shut the fuck up about everything because she ain't shit and she can't wrestle anyway. They didn't say those words, but they might as well have.
They were very polite in saying that. Nope. Cornette did say it's like, she hasn't been there. She hasn't done anything for long. She's the talent. He's the booker. She needs to shut the fuck up and just do what she's told.
Well, how far should that go, Jim?
And look, do what she's told, right? This is what I'm talking about, the irony in his idiocy. He's a hypocrite and contradicting because he talks about the tooth and nail match. I didn't see that. But when she's going over it about how things aren't making sense, there's no build up to this. This is just that. And he's like, you think? He's agreeing with her, but also saying, shut the fuck up because you haven't been there long enough to know anything. However, he also says, Kenny Olivier don't know shit. And he shouldn't be setting the matches because he's never wrestled, don't know how to wrestle because he's self-trained and no one else, anyone that did try to work with him to train him said that he was pretty much garbage. So run him down, tell everyone that Kenny Olivier ain't shit. And then when someone comes out basically agreeing with Jim Cornette because it's someone that he doesn't like in ring wise and has, the audacity to speak her mind about something. Now she ain't shit. She's worse than the one that he hates. Something's wrong with that. Something's wrong with Jim Cornette and Brian Last when it comes to this stuff because it's the echo chamber of who can suck the dick the best. When it comes to stuff like this, they start piggybacking on each other. And Brian Last wants to disagree, but he knows he's not going to make any headway with Cornette. So he has to acquiesce and be quiet, play the silent type, and move on instead of getting into an argument when most likely one should. Jim Cornette knows a lot. He ain't perfect. Especially when it comes to many times, and I appreciate him, and I'm not using this to rag on him. This is a good quality where he's like, look, he admits in the past that there are people that he thought would never get over, but it's like, nope, they was using the way that I thought was going to be wrong, and it worked for them. He's admitted this about a few tag teams and about 4 singles wrestlers. So okay, cool. That's cool. But Big Swole, what they were picking on, what were you going to say?
They dump everything on Big Swole.
Everything, no matter what. And you can hear them trying. It's not like, oh, let's find fault with someone and then put it properly with them. It was, even if someone else was messing up, they found a way to blame it on Big Swole.
Tony Khan is the one that fucked up. If he deduced at some point, damn, her skills aren't good enough, he should have pulled her aside and they should have had a conversation about it. We need to figure out a way to improve your skills, or you might need to, step away from AEW, get some more experience and come back. That's what you're supposed to be able to do as someone that's running a business and supervising people. But he's not someone who's running the business and supervising. He's someone that's playing with his fucking dollies.
I'm going to make a strong indictment on Tony Khan as a promoter. When you're a promoter, the whole point is to get the idea over. Okay? If you're the promoter, you're supposed to say, this is my company. You need to watch this company and promote it. You're going to be the booker of said company as well as the promoter. Then you are the one that says, I want you to watch my show. I'm going to show you why. I'm going to put the best matches together. And I'm going to show you that the new breed of wrestlers, male and female and anything in between or outside of, is going to showcase their top quality skills. Okay. You make sure you put them together, but people know wrestling is about two things: in-ring action and promos. Because the wrestlers have to promote themselves. They are their own individual promotion. So when you do not allow a wrestler to promo themselves, you have killed part of your booking skill. Booking ain't putting matches together, just saying you two wrestle each other and someone come up with a finish and we'll laugh about it. No, these are people's lives that he don't care about. They got to feed their children themselves. They got to pay rent. They got to pay a mortgage. They got bills. They got health issues. They got vehicle issues. They got to maintain. He's not thinking about that. Big Swole, and this is when it comes to Tony Khan being a horrible promoter and booker. This is an indictment on that. Big Swole came to Tony Khan. You haven't booked me in a long time. Is there something wrong with me? Something wrong with my in-ring work, my wrestling or something? And he says no, and then just keeps her, off. When I was working at a grocery store and they got sick of me, they didn't tell me they got sick of me. They just made sure that they didn't put any of my hours up. So every weekend I'm checking to see if I got work, and there's nothing. After 2 months, about 3 months, I think, I just stopped showing up. They got their way. If I knew then what I know now, I would have confronted them real strong, told them off. I wouldn't have kept my job anyway, but I would at least have told them what's up and how they fail and how they failed me. Instead of Tony Khan listening and saying, hey, look, because, he didn't do that. He didn't do what I would do. So, how would I handle this if I was the promoter? Going on what I've seen of Big Swole in the ring and whatnot. If I'm the promoter, what would I do? Because Tony Khan didn't do any of this. If I have the audacity to become friends with talent, instead of, hey, good job, you came to work, this is what we're going to do, and then I separate myself. Mm-hmm. If I'm going to sit there and take to know family, to have a personal relationship, to smoke weed and stuff, and just chill and have these personal conversations and whatnot, honestly, that obligates me more than what I would do on the surface. So surface wise, what would I do? Talent comes to me. You ain't booked me in a while, Cedric. What's going on? Is it my wrestling? What's happening? Why don't you want me on the show? What's happening? Please talk to me. I'm like, whoa. You got to beg. Don't say please. No, just talk to me. Well, let me tell you straight up. Looking at your matches, in our ring, you've been a bit clumsy, a little klutzy. You've made mistakes that don't need to be made. And I know that our company is full of those type of people. They work the indie circus and whatnot, and it looks real bad. Things that I wasn't thinking about. And I'm trying to find my way to get out of that. Because I like them all. They're good, fun people, but I don't want to hurt anybody's feelings. And I don't want to send somebody out in the cold either. So here's what we're going to do. There are about 4 or 5 legends that work with us. So I want to get you and 6 girls in a training program with these legends. They're going to teach you how to wrestle properly. All right. You're going to set up a small warehouse or whatnot. You're going to rent one out. You're going to put a ring in there, and y'all going to stay at the hotel or whatnot, and that'll be on me. That'll be on me. I got billions of dollars. It'll be a hotel. I'm going to get the cheapest prices because I ain't stupid. And Y'all gonna report every single day to work with these guys. And they're gonna train you from the ground up. Every single day. And y'all gonna have matches on dark against each other. Every other week. That's what we're gonna do. Your wrestling hasn't impressed me. And I realized that I'm just getting into wrestling truthfully, and I had to take my starry eyes off, those glasses, I had to take them off, and I got to see what's really going on. So we're going to get you good and going, and once y'all are done, then we're going to put you back out there on TV after you've gotten probably about 6 months to a year of good quality, strong training from these legends. You know, psychology and everything. We're going to build you from the toe to the hair follicle. All right. And that's what I would have done. And they would have had a bunch of matches, and I would have eventually put them back on TV in about a year. And they would be if they're really good, and I'll be like, these legends will let me know, hey, are you doing what you need to do? Because I don't want you trained as girls. I want you trained as guys. Y'all need to come out there and bring it. This is all equal. Y'all need to lay into each other. We're not building superstars. We're building professional wrestlers. You know, and if you're here trying to get really good and popular and then break off a movie deal, get out. I don't care how much I love you. I don't care how much I respect you. Get the fuck out. That's how I would run it. And then I would start looking at other people, and I'd be like, look, your contract's going to run out, and I'm not going to renew it because I'm looking for quality wrestlers, not these things. And more than half of you, I don't even want to see you go because I want you here forever. But I've got to think about my company. So either improve your training, become the professional wrestlers, learn, all the basics, learn how to come off the ropes, stop the head palm shoot off, do things professionally. You want your modern stuff? Don't do it so much. Save some of that for the next show. And when we get to pay-per-views and you can unleash all of that stuff, because that's when you really got to show up. But y'all got to train up or get out. And that's going for you, my vice presidents and executive vice presidents and whatnot. Train up or get out. And that's not what Tony Khan did.
And he's not going to do that because essentially he's got a company full of wrestling buddies.
And that's the problem. He's just a young Vince McMahon. Because he pulled a Vince McMahon, just not. Vince would have cut her off at the knees quick. It wouldn't have been, I'm going to wait it out. It would have been, oh, we're not really getting anywhere with this, are we? Release her. Release the Kraken. And it would have been it. And Vince McMahon dumped a whole bunch of people so quick they didn't even know what was going to happen. And there's massive reports that people in there are just paranoid if they're going to have a job tomorrow or not. That's scary for a company. That's real scary. So, I strongly dislike Cornette talking about it's the wrestling business. What the fuck? I'm like, that is his biggest downfall. That's what you were trying to get at, Cedra, earlier. That he's stuck in it's the wrestling business. You got to treat people like shit. Mm-hmm. You shouldn't care about anyone. No one should care about you.
It's like, Jim, if you long for the days of being treated like you ain't shit, I'm sure it's somebody you can hire to do it for you. But people,
oh no, Jim then came up in life. He's the one that treats people like they ain't shit.
But people do have feelings, contrary to what you may believe or give a damn about. You get in your feelings all the time. You make the whole world acknowledge it, but anybody else having any kind of feeling, then oh no, they're soft.
And that is the problem. You can't have your cake and eat it too, man. In other words, cognitive dissonance is what that line is originally supposed to mean.
And to me, it almost sounded like she even being the bitch about it.
No,
it was just like
you could tell that she was confused and hurt.
Yeah, I thought we were, as we would say, I thought we were cool.
Yeah, what happened? Why didn't you just talk to me and let me know what was going on? You could have just told me my shit won't right and I need to get it better. But no, because he's honestly, Tony Khan's a coward.
I was going to say that he's a coward.
He's just a big ass coward.
He rather spend money paying somebody to not do anything than just man up and be like, look, you need some work.
I would think that's toxic, telling someone to man up.
I was thinking about them boys.
I was thinking about them too, but I won't. You know, that's for wrestling stuff. This real right here. This, you know, this ain't a performance.
It's not a performance. It's just like, okay, have some fucking balls. How about that?
Same thing. It's still no. Have some decency, some courage. You know, have some respect. You know, that's what I usually say.
Have some sort of fucking fortitude, and be able to answer a direct question.
Answer it honestly and give him a chance to improve. Big Swole looked nice. I thought her name was not good at all.
I thought it was cool because she's so small.
Big Swole was just basically her personality. I just want to be bigger than life, and just you could tell she was happy to wrestle. You could tell she talked about getting an injury, and even though it took some recovery, she was happy to have had that injury and that experience. And I'm thinking someone like this is someone you could take like clay and just mold into perfection if you just take the time to do it. Someone that is that happy and eager to be a professional wrestler and learn their craft best that they can. And the best thing you can do is not anything. That's horrible. That's an indictment on not just Tony Khan, but the rest of the professional wrestling industry. If you got trainers, good trainers, they know what they're doing, then they need to train these people up and train them properly and say, you don't go out and wrestle anywhere until you get these things down. That's what you need. And be like, look, if you can't get it, you got to do something else in your life. You don't do this, because we're trying to make this industry look good. And if you come out and expose it with your shenanigans or poor acting skills or your inability to look like you're actually hurting someone or getting hurt, you make us look bad. You make the whole business look bad. You need to go do something else, because you're going to make yourself look bad. And if you do get sick of this and you try to get another job or a career somewhere else, let's say, hey, ain't you that wrestler that couldn't do shit? What you gonna do for us? Because I know y'all made that company look crazy bad. What you gonna do to us? And you won't get hired. It has happened. So this whole thing, Big Swole versus Tony Khan. I know Big Swole is, look, she's a wrestler. She's gonna do what she's told, which is why she did that stupid stuff. But even though you're getting told to do stupid stuff, you should still reserve the right to say, I don't know about this. This don't make sense. Wait, didn't Jim Cornette say that these wrestlers lack the balls to stand up and say, this is stupid, I'm not doing this? But then when a woman does it, now let's jump all on her? Huh. Weird, don't you think? Yeah. So, look, y'all let us know what you think. I figured it'd be good to dive in on this a little bit and expose Cornette and Last. Even though I like listening to them and I learn a lot from both of them, I also know their limitations. And their limitations today would actually kill the wrestling business. Yes, it would weed out the non-hackers, but it would also push out those that would be great in-ring and promo talent. It will weed them away and push them out, because they want someone to actually give a shit about them, where they would be like, this is wrestling, go fuck yourself.
Yeah, it's a wrestling business. We don't have to be decent.
And that's
bullshit.
And that's toxic in of itself. Just because it's wrestling doesn't mean you have to be indecent. It just means make sure that there's no one that is going to expose the business, and make sure that you don't screw people over so much that they want to expose the business. Let them know, look, this ain't working out. I like you. I think you're one hell of a good person, but this is a wrestling company. This is a wrestling industry. And in good conscience, I can't let you go out there. I can't let you do this. You got to understand, and then try to find something else for them.
Or you got the money, help them get trained.
Or
if you like them that much.
Yeah. And if they aren't good enough, just say, look, you can use me. I can write you letters of recommendations for whatever you want to go into, because you're a great person. It's just that for this thing, you're not what we need. There's so many ways to go about it. But that being quiet, saying nothing, letting the contract expire, and then when they bring up that this is the issue that I think, and then you want to bring out the thing that you said it wasn't, you're a piece of shit. You're a piece of shit. And as she pointed out, Tony Khan's a billionaire and stuff, and when she pointed something out about possible, talent, minorities and whatnot, and Tony Khan's like, I'm a minority.
No, you ain't.
No, once you become a multi-millionaire and even creep up into billionaire or multi-billionaire, you are no longer a minority.
Yes, sir. No, sir. Whatever you want, sir.
When you are writing the checks, you are not the minority. You are a minority around the circles of people that's got your level of money or higher. But when it comes to anyone that you are paying or who's viewing you, you're not a minority. You are the money man. That's what you are. You are the check writer. You are the one that says who come, who go. That's who you are. You're not a minority. You are the man. And once you're the man, the only color you care about is green. So you can drop that crap, Tony Khan. That, no. I'm a black guy. If I got billions of dollars, I'm up there with those people. I'm not a minority to y'all anymore, to, the Baba Ganoushas and jobbers and people seeking jobs and the unwashed masses of society. Oh no, I'm better than y'all.
If somebody can buy and sell you, you keep your hate in check.
Yep. And if you're the one doing the buying and the selling, you're only a minority to everyone else doing the buying and selling. That's it. You done moved up. It's just, and look, y'all might be mad at me, but think about the movie stars and sitcom stars and stuff like that. Oh yeah, before they made it and they out there trying and struggling, they dating you. And as soon as they make it, you ain't there anymore. Now they gotta date only the other stars and actors and high quality quote unquote people. You don't mean shit. It's everybody else that's an A-list or B-list something. Those are the ones they go after. And that's why in Hollywood, all those relationships come and go. That's why. It's just how people want to be. It's not how it has to be. It's how they want to be. And so Tony Khan needs to make sure that he never becomes friends with talent.
Oh, that's not going to happen.
He needs to make sure, you can become friends with your top list talent, as Cornette and Last said, because, yeah, do that. Top list talent. Okay. So y'all can go over things and plan out those, because those are your primary matches. The final match of the evening is what you send people home remembering. That's what they're going to remember. So you got to make sure that's solid. Everyone else below, they ain't going to bring you in the money. So don't talk to them, especially when you're too much of a coward to tell them the truth and get them the help that they need. Because all he did was make sure that Big Swole, who hasn't hurt anybody, she's a nice girl going on what I've seen of her. Now you done traumatized her. Where is she going to go? Who is she going to trust? And now everyone else out there, because of her own fault, she said this, because somebody, she wasn't thinking. But now every damn wrestling company like, I can't hire you. Why? Because you got drugs in you. She's gonna have to go to somewhere like GCW or some underground place that don't do those checks. And weed should not even be illegal anyway. It should be far from it. Never seen a car accident with somebody when somebody was high. Hadn't seen somebody get messed up or attacked or anything because somebody was high. None of that. But cocaine, meth, alcohol, a nick fit from not having enough cigarettes in your system. Yeah, I've seen people drive having a nick fit. No, it is not good. It is not good. In any case, I hope this sparked some thoughts. I haven't done a commentary in a little bit, and I figured this could use some deep, real talk. I thought it could. I thought it deserved it. So if y'all got questions, ask them here or any uploads that I do. Whether it's Fire Pro Road, in the future, Pain and Agony Wrestling, or other commentaries or anything like that. Just ask away. And it's all good. If you want to tackle something that I have said way in the past, make sure you put it there and then timestamp so there could be context so I can know exactly what you're talking about, what I might have to apologize for or explain or something. I think that's fair. So this has been Cedric and Cedric for CR Wrestling Commentary, giving you our thoughts on Big Swole versus Tony Khan. Y'all remember to stay safe. Mask up, glove up, wash up, not in that order, but get it done. Make sure you protect yourself, your family, your neighbors. Do all that. We ain't out the woods yet, but everybody want to act like they passed the trees. No. So, with that said, good night. Talk to you next time.